everybody, Kyle Sasser here with BizTweaks. BizTweaks is your business toolbox, and today I have a great tool for people. Probably a lot of you already know about this tool. If you're in the self-employed or if you use some online accounting software, it's highly likely you already know about this tool. I have tried a few different tools in this arena, and all of them were problematic in some form or another, and I finally found one that is netting me a lot more money than I was making in the past. So, what are we talking about? Today I'm talking about mileage trackers. So, for those of you that don't know, if you travel for business purposes, you are able to take those miles that you put on your car as a tax deduction. I believe the current rate here in 2019 is 58 cents a mile. Again, I am not a tax lawyer or accountant, so please don't quote me on that. Please check and make sure that is correct before filing your taxes with that information. But basically, for every mile you drive for business purposes, you get a 58% deduction for your taxes. Now, there are some rules on this deduction. Commuting to your office is not deductible, which honestly kind of sucks. Especially if you have a longer commute like I do, you are not allowed to deduct that mileage off of your taxes. But for anything else that you do for business purposes, you are able to deduct that mileage. So if you are driving to a restaurant for a business meeting, you can deduct the mileage. If you are, let's say today, I just finished a 30-mile drive for a listing appointment. I get to deduct that mileage. If you are driving to the bank, you get to deduct that mileage. If you're driving to pick up some stuff from Staples or Office Depot, guess what? You get to deduct that mileage. And it really adds up, 50 cents a mile. So in 1 month, I've driven over 250 miles. That is, like $135 deduction. Yeah, that's just money back in my pocket. That's not going for taxes. Like, who wouldn't love that? Now, the annoying thing about mileage is you have to track it and report it. Back in the day, you'd keep a logbook of the mileage, so you'd have to check the odometer, write the mileage down, write the purpose down, and you had to do that every trip. If you drive a company vehicle, obviously much easier, because you can just write the total mileage, because everything for it is business purposes. If you drive to the office and then pick up the business vehicle there. If you're like me and drive a personal vehicle, you can't do that. You have to track the individual mileage. And let's be real, I'm not going to keep notes, a notebook of my mileage log. That's not the way my mind works. So of course I turned to mobile apps, and there's a few out there that I have tried. Expensify was probably the best that I've found until the last couple weeks. And with this Expensify, it doesn't do just mileage. It does, receipts and stuff like that as well. But I've stopped using Expensify. And the reason why is because with Expensify, you had to remember to start and stop the mileage whenever you wanted to track it. And which sounds like you should be able to do, because there's a few ways to track it in Expensify. You can take pictures of your mileage and manually enter it, which is basically like a logbook. You could do after the fact calculations and enter it manually, or you could turn on the GPS on your mobile cell phone and just use the GPS to track it. Had a couple hiccups with Expensify, though, in that you have to remember to turn it on and turn it off, which gets annoying. And I even tried automated, like with your cell phone, you can say hey, send me a reminder whenever I get in the car, and it will, your iPhone or Android will remind you every time you get in the car, hey, start your GPS if you need. But it still leaves a lot of room for mistakes. The other issue was a lot of times the app would get confused and it would just skip mileage or just have huge gaps between it. And it seemed to be with if I was using a navigation app in addition or something like that. So wasn't the best solution. So I don't recommend Expensify anymore. What I do recommend is QuickBooks Self Employed. Now, there is a charge for it. It's $9 a month. But just from not having to manually remember to have to start and stop the GPS, it's already paid for itself in the first month. Just in 2 trips, it's paid for itself. So the nice thing about Google Self-Employed is that it monitors your GPS location in the background, which means that you don't have to remember to manually start and stop it. And then after the fact, once a day, every day or two, you go through and you review the trips that it has recorded, and then you can classify it either as personal or as business. And then with business, you can even set subcategories. So I have, a category for real estate. I have a category for, Great Things Tampa Bay, which is another show I do, or it has a category for BizTweaks, which is, what you're watching now. And just the fact that it monitors all this stuff in the background and then automatically calculates everything means that you do not miss anything. So can't recommend it enough. There's definitely, I'm putting a link to it below just so you can sign up easily. I don't think they have a referral program. Honestly, the program is good enough that I'm happy to recommend it even without it. Just it's that good of a piece of software. It will also track your other business expenses, so like meals out. You can take pictures of receipts and all that good stuff. Even if it didn't do all that, just the mileage part, like I said, it paid for itself in literally 1.5 trips. So can't recommend it enough. Now, as far as integrations with QuickBooks go, you do have to, if you're using like a regular QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, you do have to manually transfer it over. That headache aside, I would still recommend it. It's an excellent program. So anyway, my name's Kyle Sasser. This is BizTweaks. If you would like to visit the website, we have plenty more tips, tools, and little business secrets like this. That's BizTweaks.com. That's BizTweaks.com. If you have another recommended program or app that you think I should check out, leave me a comment below or shoot me an email at hello@biztweaks.com. I'm putting that email link in the show notes as well. And yeah, we also have courses, public forums there. It's excellent website. So go check it out. Be sure to subscribe because I put one of these out pretty frequently. So talk to you soon.